Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to be taking some plain washi tapes and some plain book pages, just words, maybe some small pictures, music, and turn them into fun washi strips that you can attach to cards, journal tags, any little tidbit clusters. Like there's a music one, and this one came from my great shorthand typewriting set, little typewriter, regular book pages, and just words. And this one's got bigger ones. That was a typewriter one too. So fairly simple. And as I was doing these, I thought, well, why don't I find some tiny pictures and see if I can make some tidbit washi tape strips using the tiny pictures too. All right, let me just move these to the side real quick, and I'm going to show you. So I got this is a book page index for my map and the music, and this is from a faux Sears catalog. I'm going to show you that. Another table of contents, some just close-up words, indexes, and like I said, after I did those first few, I said, well, why don't I see if I can do some pictures? So I have a map here. I was thinking to make something out of that one. I've got this with some small bugs on it and some butterflies. And this has some kind of scientific-y kind of things that could be kind of fun to make. This one's got some like metals down here to make some sort of strips out of. So we're going to play with those in a minute, but I just want to show you. I did do these. So this was, like I said, just a strip page from a faux old Sears catalog. I forgot it. It was like 1913 or something. And what I did is I just took some of the washi tape. Now I believe, and I haven't really tried, I've taken light colored ones so that you can see through them still. And then I took a sanding block and I sanded it down to make sure it was nice and snug to the paper, as well as kind of getting rid of that little bit of shine to it. It's hard to tell, but there's a little bit of shine on some of these. But taking the sandpaper nails it down. We did this once before, where I took washi strips and then stamped between them to make, where you can tear them apart and make little tidbits. And that was where the idea I got from the washi tape being sanded, because we did that in it. That was an idea by Crafty by Tony. Did that a while ago. But that's where I got the idea for the sanding of that. So all I'm going to do for this, and I probably could get my big machine out, but I'm just going to go ahead and do my best to cut along the edge of the strip here, just to get rid of it. So I would think that you can take any sort of book page that has some interesting type or print and make your own little washi tape. And you've seen them. You probably have them, little washi tape with little pictures or little words imprinted on there. And what's nice is these papers and the washi tape, you can, like I did with that, is go ahead and rip it and just rip parts out and use, just a little bit of it onto a tag or any sort of thing. But if you wanted to make a little just number, you could throw a little piece of washi tape on there and just make a little, I think I'll do that, little tidbit. And I find this end here. So you can take a look at anything you got and make a quick little tidbit. I'm going to use this so I don't accidentally sand this. I have enough of it worn out. All right, so we know it is well within there. Probably could actually even rip this out then, because you're ripping against the washi tape a bit. Doesn't rip straight, but rips close enough. So now I got a little muted down washi tape, little tidbit to add to something. I'm putting it in my little bucket over here that I got for extra stuff. I mean, I know we all have enough pages that we can pick and choose what we want to use on them. Now this was a little bit of a darker one, but it still worked good because I had bright bold ink below it. I was looking for, I have, and I don't know if I can track it down, I've got a flower catalog But I thought it might be kind of fun. You know, you might not get big long strips because you've got, you know, square pictures of flowers, but you could probably put those on there and get a nice little floral one. But there's that. So those are fun, right? All right, let me show you. Let's see if we can get a couple more done. All right, so let's take this bug one. And again, we are working with lighter masking tapes. I'm going to take one of these and put it down lower and see if we can see through it. And it looks like you can. So I'm going to take, I'll flip it around so I can see the line. I'm going to take this green, because I thought green with bugs would be good. And we're just going to line it up with that top. Rip it off. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then we're going to sand it down. Now I've got a wet wipe, which is not really, really wet. It's been sitting around for a while, so it's pretty dry. But you can see it did pick up some of that. I just want to get some of that sawdust off of there. And there we go. Yeah, that's fun. Let me cut it out to show you what it would look like close up. Now that came out really cute. So you wouldn't even know that that necessarily was washi tape that did not have that already stamped on there. But like I said, you can go ahead and just take it, and you want the piece right there, and you can just tear it. Or at the end, just to show you, because I don't know where you want to tear it. But you can tear these, since they are paper and washi, which is pretty terrible. Not as in awful, but terrible. And then ink around it, and cute, right? Now you probably can't go too big because, you know, it's not, I mean, it depends on how wide of a washi tape you can find. I don't have really, really wide ones. The only really wide ones, if I have a lot of print on them. The ones that don't have too much print are like this. And I'm wondering I could do like this strip right here. That's a little wider than I would want. Oh, let's give it a shot. Do my best to center it. All right, and we will sand. And a little bit of a wipe. And we'll do a cut.
Now, you see those a lot of times when there's something off the edge of something, so butterfly wings that have gone off the edge, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, that'll do. You know, cut it in half, cut it right below a butterfly, you got a little strip of butterflies. Why not, right? Figure out if I can save that for something else. All right, so the other one that I really wanted to try was this map right here. Lots of words and lines I thought would be kind of fun to do. So let's see what we can find for that one. How about this one? That could work. All right, so we're going to try to line the bottom up and do that. That's going to be fun. All right, let's find another one to do right above it. How about a little blue with, I think they're like, not daffodils, dandelions. I knew it was a D word. Okay, give it a little bit of space between the two. I like that. So if you find a page that has a lot of them, you could just probably just keep going. Well, I guess that's where you're going to stick. Probably a little busier than it needs to be, but I don't mind. All right, you're pretty plain. I like the words more. So I think that's going to be a little better up there. All right, let's call that one. All right, so let's sand. All right, get a little bit of a wet on there. Definitely pulls off, as you can see, some of the color. Probably does make it be a little bit more see-through too. I got a new wet wipe, a little bit wetter than the other ones, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think these are going to be cool. All right, so I'm going to take a moment. I will be right back. I'm going to cut these out. All right, I am back, and these are very cute. I mean, they're not very descriptive totally, but you can definitely see the lines, a couple words in there. I didn't fully cut them down. I like cut between the strips, so there's a bit, I can cut some more off or just ink it, leave some room. That one is, barely can tell that there's a color in there, but if you look at what the original was, there we go. I really can't, it's definitely a little bit darker. Let's just put it that way. And then I think the blue one, very fun. And while I was finishing the page, I noticed at the top of the page, it said Paris with a little bit more mappage. So I decided to do this one. I think that is very cool with those sideways stripes with there. That's gonna be a fun little tidbit to throw on something. And then at the bottom of the page was like a grid, map, mile marker, those little keys, similar to this. And I just threw some dots on there, which I thought would be kind of fun. But it's just got little, the dots now have a little bit of stripes through it. So it's not, you know, it's not just a simple plain little dot washi. Very fun, right? All right, so like I said, probably the most basic one would be to use, like if you've got some music pages on here. And I'm going to use that polka dot one. Or not polka dot, checkerboard. And you can put it with words or not words and be able to make your own musical, I guess I'll just cut it off there, musical washi tape. Even if you don't have any musical washi tape, like how fun is that? A little bit of sanding, a little bit of wiping, and a little bit of cutting. And before you know it, you've got washi tape with music notes on it. Cute, right? I like it. All right, well, I think we have quite a nice selection here. So again, if you got some plain washi tapes, and probably the cheaper the better. A lot of these came from Michael's, where they can buy like, 24 in a package, or maybe Hobby Lobby, where they just have a whole variety of them. They're fairly thin, fairly clear. Obviously you want to use the lighter ones. And so if you got that, and if you got some, book pages with words or small pictures, where you got some maps, music notes, maybe you have some more specific kind of books like the typing book, where they have some fun big fonts to them. That would be fun to be able to throw just fun letters on it. Or like I said, little picture books, magazines that got small floral on there, things like that. I mean, you could probably just look around everywhere and find little pictures that you can cover with washi tape to make your own washi tape tidbits. Yeah, I like it. All right, well, that is going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by. And if you like the video, a thumbs up would be great. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate if you do that. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you get notified when videos pop up. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.